Is there a skeleton in your cupboard that could prevent you from supersizing and growing your business? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our confidence-related idiom for today is skeleton in the cupboard. Now, we talked about skeleton in the closet, but this is actually a precursor to that, and the version of the idiom that appears and started mostly in England in the 19th century. In the 1800s, it was illegal to do any experimenting on dead bodies. So that led to, in the medical industry, doctors were learning a lot about the human body, and in order to do that, they wanted to study and use cadavers, dead bodies, to find out about anatomy and things that they wanted to teach and figure out about medicine and how to make us healthier human beings. And so this whole industry of body snatching came about. Now, that is the thought of where this particular idiom and expression came from, because they're still finding bodies in walls and closets and skeletons from these experiments even today. So there's other possibilities of where it came from, but it basically means there's a secret, something bad that's hidden that you don't want other people to find out. It's either embarrassing or it is something really, really bad. Maybe it's illegal, immoral, unethical, things that other people would judge you for, etc. Now, I get a kick out of this particular idiom because I try really hard to think of what are my skeletons in the closet. And since I pretty much tell everybody everything that they want to know about my life and my experiences, etc., it's pretty hard to think of what would be a skeleton in my closet. But some businesses, some industries, some of us, we all have past. We've all made mistakes. We're not born knowing how to do everything or anything, and we're certainly not perfect as human beings. So stuff happens. But there's a big difference between a skeleton in our closet, something bad and hidden and secret that we're super ashamed of and we would dread to have ever get out, versus just mistakes that we make. If you make a mistake, it's not irreparable, right? You can fix that. You apologize. You take responsibility for the mistake. You make the mistake right. You do what's right, and you can fix it. Now, you might not be able to repair a relationship that was broken, but you can make sure that you learn the lesson from that experience and you move forward and you don't make that mistake again. That's different than what this idiom is speaking about. This idiom is talking about when you do something or you have something secret in your past. And nowadays, I'd be hard-pressed to think of any business or anything that most people could do that they can't recover from in order to grow and build and supersize their business. I mean, we've got, ex-convicts, felons, murderers, I don't know about rapists or child molesters, but people that have committed really bad crimes that they wouldn't necessarily want people to know about. Once it's out and they've made amends or are changing or creating something positive out of that experience, people tend to forgive them and move on. So I would be really curious about this. I think a lot of times we build up in our minds and imaginations that something's a skeleton in our closet. I know for the longest time I was afraid, but once I told people, and actually when I had my son, I wasn't married, and I was working in corporate America. I was the only woman in that environment, and one of the hardest things I had to do was say, hey guys, I'm having a baby, and it didn't take long before it showed, and work through that situation. But since everybody already knew, it wasn't really a skeleton in my closet, and the way I handled it made it taking responsibility for my actions, and that's something that we always need to do. So curious if you've had any experience with this particular idiom or expression. Again, we all make mistakes, and it's how we handle them and what we do about them and how we behave moving forward, because we can't change our past. We can only do the right thing in the future. Share in the comments below your experience with this particular idiom. I've actually heard skeleton in the closet a lot more than I've ever heard skeleton in the cupboard. I kind of like the skeleton in the cupboard one. Anyway, have an awesome day, and I will be with you tomorrow with another confidence-related idiom to coincide with this year's annual challenge.